I found a video of Drummond getting interviewed by some cool chick in a Sally cosplay. Seeing that she looks like a female version of me, I thought that it would be awesome if we want to make a collab video or something, and probably post a selfie of ourselves. But unfortunately, we're too far away by a zone of 3 hours away. Well, Krystal has agreed to accept this interview, and I'm glad to have you, Krystal. How are you doing?
Hi, John. I'm doing fine. And you?
Um, I'm doing great as well. Actually, you're the first person I ever interview for from YouTube and everything, so I really hope that this works out. All right. So, with a little curiosity, like the idea for your channel called the Kitsune Network, what idea or thought that brought the name of the channel Kitsune Network? Like the name Kitsune, is it based on some kind of anime or some kind of figure that comes to mind? Like I'm just thinking about the nine-tailed fox, but is there something like behind us?
Right. Well, I mean, the nine-tailed fox idea, that didn't. I mean, it was one of the reasons, but not the main reason. I mean, the nine-tailed fox. Everybody knows the nine-tailed fox from Naruto, and
Ah,
I've never. I mean, I've watched an episode or two of Naruto, but I never really got into it. Um, the name of my network, the Kitsune Network, it's actually a play on words for the real life TV network called the Fox Network. So I just try to get the Fox
oh, I
Jack
like that. Pertaining to 20th century Fox.
or something like that. If we start making movies, yeah, 21st century Kitsune. I like the sound of that.
Interesting. Okay, so I've been seeing you interviewing these actors and animators and producers. Like, have they ever get you involved into being an
Oh,
actor or producer or animator?
Um, well, they directly haven't gotten me involved. With that being said, I do additional voices once in a while in animes here and there, but they directly don't get me involved. They sometimes get me involved with connecting with other voice actors or other people, but other than that, they don't directly get me involved into anything. With that being said, they do inspire me to become better than where I am currently at. I feel that that's a good thing. Um, and in a sense of my interviews, I always ask them if there are tips or suggestions that they would give to the future fans, either voice acting or producers, artists, etc. And although I ask that information go to the fans, it's also for me because I usually get that, and I'm like, oh, okay, well then maybe I'll start being like this. Maybe I'll start being integrating that into my the way I do things with my website.
Okay, okay. Voice acting. That's something that I'm actually thinking about as well. Like, I have done characters like Yu-Gi-Oh! I even done the Jim Cumming voices. You know who the guy who did Winnie the Pooh, Darkwing Duck. Also
Wait,
did
oh yes, Jen Cummings, yes.
yeah, I also did Dan Green. You know him for Yu-Gi-Oh, Knuckles, and those other characters, and Ryan Drummond, which is the reason why I found you.
Ah, Ryan. Yes. Actually, it's a funny thing with Ryan. It was not a plan. Usually, I plan my interviews maybe a month or two ahead. For this one, it was more. I was attending a convention called Sonic Revolution 2019, which is the first Sonic convention ever in Southern California. There's a big one officially licensed by Sega, I believe, called Summer of Sonic, and that was a huge one. It's like Anime Expo for Sonic fans, and I would love to go to that one, but unfortunately, I think it's somewhere in New York. I believe so.
Oh,
So some fans got together and decided to create this convention here in SoCal, and I'm grateful for them because it's great. And so Ryan was going, started popping out as a guest, and I jumped onto the opportunity to email him and request an interview. So.
okay. Well, all right. Yeah, I was really impressed on how you're able to find these actors and producers and voice actors like Ryan Drummond. And the question is, like, how are you able to get them to accept the interview from you? Like, for me, it just seems very difficult.
one thing, and I think it's the most key part, is communication and presentation, of course.
Okay.
Um, a lot of, especially voice actors, and I can understand why they are very reserved and very private with their lives, which I can understand. So when a fan comes in and asks them for an interview, they have to see it in a two perspective. They either see it as just another fan asking for a random interview, or is this a person working for an industry that that industry or news outlet wants to know about my network? I mean, about my career. And I think they respond a lot better when you present yourself in a professional manner. And you don't necessarily even have to tell them that you're part of a news outlet. As much you could come off as a fan and say, "Hey, I just want to interview you because I think you're one of the greatest voice actors." But I think the key is presentation and approach, like the way you were to go about asking for the interview. You know,
Hmm.
if you were to ask for it in a fan way or in a professional way, a patient professional way. And again, communication, the way you use your words in order to uh, say what you need to say. And so I think that's one thing that I've learned over the last 3 years that I've been doing this, is that presentation and approach is the way you are highly likely to get an interview. That, of course, doesn't guarantee you an interview because a lot of things play in that, their lives, their schedule more than anything. But it'll definitely increase your chances of getting an interview.
Okay. One last question. What do you do when you're bored? Like any alternatives from drugs or whatever that seems wrong?
Oh, drugs?
I'm sorry if I'm getting too personal. It's just kind of like a question.
So you mean what I do for a hobby?
Yeah, basically.
I like to drink a lot of coffee, so I drink a lot of coffee during my downtime, or even when I'm not in downtime, I always drink coffee no matter what. Um, I don't know. It's a different question for me. Usually, people have an easy time answering that question. I don't, because I just spend most of my time editing stuff on my website, and that for me in it itself is relaxing sometimes. Um, I guess you can say binge watching TV shows is one thing that I do always. So yeah, that.
Okay. Anyway, I hope this wasn't too much pressure for you to, blah 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 blah, taking certain matters and everything. But I really want to thank you so much for participating. And hopefully that when we have like a tour in Los Angeles or New York, we'll probably meet and take a selfie or whatever. Because I would really like to meet you someday.
Well, thank you. Hopefully you can attend any convention here in LA. I'm always doing stuff in Southern California. I'm planning to expand my website, broaden up my website to either other associates out in other states like New York, stuff like that, and hopefully that we get to expand and whatnot.
Well, hope to see you in LA soon or see you in New York. Okay. Thank you for your
All
time
right.
and everything. Have a good day.
You're welcome. You too. Have a good day.
All right. No problem. Bye.
Bye.